Hi, my name is Jacob Folger, and today I'm going to show you how to sculpt a lion's head. And this head, when you're done, you should be able to, after it's dried, you should be able to hang it on the wall maybe. You can put a finish on it if you want. So first we're going to start off with shaping the clay into a ball. Like this. And then the basic shape of a lion's head is going to be kind of like this. So just watch me do this. I'm forming it with my hands. Okay, we're going to get the basic shape here. That's what we're trying for. And press in with your thumbs to create the eyes. That kind of gives you some idea where you are. Here you got the bridge of the nose. It comes down. It's kind of flat here. And then kind of the nostrils, they kind of flare out. Let me just put some indentations in for the nostrils so you can kind of just get more of a visual on it. That's a little bit flatter like that. I'm just trying to give you a visual. There's a bit of an indentation that goes up over the top of the skull. You start to shape it in there. Now to give it pretty substantial definition right now, to show you that you've got a lion here, you roll a ball of clay and put it there under the left nostril, blend it in, and do it again, roll another ball like that, put it there under the right nostril and blend it in. And see the lion's face is starting to emerge. Just blend it in around there. We're going to bring it a little bit more. We're going to take the do the lower jaw with a shape of clay, just a round ball, flattened out a little bit. We're going to put it up underneath here, like that. Now we're going to create, now you'll also notice real soon, we'll add some more clay to this to kind of bring it about, but we want to, we want to get you to be able to visualize this fairly soon, so that it's not so confusing to you. Just creating now the eye sockets with my index finger. I'm going to add some cheekbones and a kind of a fatty tissue around and under the eyes here, just to make it a little bit more, add a little bit more depth to the face. Like that. And do it again on the other side. I've got a bit of clay over here that I'm working from, and I'll do that on the other side. If you notice, I mean, obviously so far right here we've only used my hands, used the tool one time. You might find it easier for you to use your tools. there's a source list of tools, the types of clay that you can use with this project, and that is on the video kind of in the beginning there. I'm going to roll a ball of clay like this between my fingers, and I'm just going to put it in here for an eyeball. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I want the eyeballs to be about the same size. Like that. And then I'm going to start working on developing the eyes, and there is on the edge of each eye, actually humans have it too, there's a little bit of a kind of a bony area here. This just will add more depth to the eyes. It's like you roll a ball of clay and then you just roll it or shape it like this. And just put that on the edge of the eye. I'm going to add some pupils, and a good way to add pupils is to use the back end of a paintbrush like this. And you can just put them in here. Later on you can widen them or make them small, make them a little bit bigger if you have to. But we just want to kind of get them started there. You can take a little noodle of clay like this and put it on. That will be the eyelid. And you kind of want it to go over this little bony area that we just put in. Roll another noodle and do the other side. You know, if I'm going too fast, you definitely can pause the video, catch up, and come back to me. Like that. And then, just so the cat doesn't look so surprised, you definitely want the eyelids to be covering the top of the pupils. And if it looks like it's going to be hard to do that, you can bring that up to meet that, so it's with the back of the paintbrush, like that. You can create more of a brow. Let me set this down for a minute. You can create more of a brow like this with a noodle like this, a little bit bigger. And you can just lay it in there like that, adding more depth to the cat's face. This is, of course, a lion we're talking about here, but I'm calling it a cat. Okay, and then we can do another one for the other side like that. If you just follow this step by step, pausing the video as you go, it won't seem so overwhelming to you, I assure you. And then we've got, I want to add a little bit more definition to the top of the head where the indentation is here. And then just detailing this a little bit more. Just mostly blending and bringing out the face that way. And then you can use a tool. Finally, we can use a tool. I use my hands a lot. I've been sculpting for many years. The hands are really great tools. I had an artist friend named Edward once that explained to me how the finger and the bone on the inside actually is very much like this tool here. Okay, we've got our lion on the board now, recommended board on the source list. Just a nice thing to have. And we're going around and we're putting in the mane. We're just roughing it in at this point. We're going to sculpt it a little bit once we got it on there. There we go. Let's just stand it up there a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. And there's a lot of ways to sculpt the mane, and sometimes when you're first starting out, it might be a little bit difficult to start sculpting that hair and getting it to look the way you want. And just be patient. I'll give you some ideas. You can take a piece of clay about this shape here, and you can just lay it on there, and then just kind of bend it a little bit, giving it kind of a natural look. Make another, and you can kind of do that. You just put it on there and twist it maybe the other way so it's kind of natural looking there. You can add texture to the hair. You can you know, go like this. Take a just take a tool and draw in strands, making it more natural. Just like that. And coming up. You can take little bits of clay, smaller pieces with a similar shape as that, and you can just lay them on and adding depth that way. Like that. And then you can add strands of hair in that as well. And where it joins the face, you can blend it in like that, so it's not just sort of you know, basically just sticking out there. You can blend it in, and then add hair and just run it right up onto the face, adding strands that way, running a little bit right up onto the face so it looks like whiskers and hair coming down. That's good. We'll just keep going with that like that. You can roll your strands. You got a big strand here. Now I'm doing kind of a design where it's blowing in the wind. That's the kind of look I want. And so this piece here is down a little bit. This piece here is up a little bit, kind of going over like that. Put this piece on and just sort of have it coming over so it's kind of blowing in the wind. You might have it come up a little bit. You know, random, really, you know. I mean, you could make it symmetrical and everything, but you also can do it randomly, like I'm doing here. Just set it up on over that like that. You can add little bits like that, just to add a little bit of depth to it. That can also be fairly random, like that. you got this little beard here, and you can just, if you see how I'm doing that, I'm actually just drawing it in, but I'm kind of making it blowing in that direction as well. And here. And also I've had people that have watched my videos say things like, well, that's how you do a small one, how do you do a big one? Well, you do a big one the same way. Same way. And then since it's blowing this way, these might be longer than the ones over here. Like that. You're also going to want to add ears to your lion. Their ears are like bear cub or bear ears. So you roll a ball like that, flatten it down a little bit, whoops, and then just add it in here, back behind the ear, back behind the eyes. And another one here. See, take a little bit of clay off of that, trying to make it about the same size. And then blending it in. And what you can do is you can take your finger and just sort of scoop the inner part of the ear, leaving it kind of hollow in there, which would add some depth to the ear. And once you do this, now you the first time you do this, it's not going to look like mine more than likely, unless you're even more amazing than I thought you were. So, you know, it's going to take a little bit of practice, but there's a lot of videos on my channel where you can watch and learn and practice. So I'm just adding the hair. Now you already, basically, we went around and we just roughed it in. We put a base to work off of. And now we're going back and add the strands and sculpting the hair like that. And this comes up, the top of the mane here tends to come up to kind of a little bit of a point between the ears, like that. And then just with the sculpting tool, we can draw in the strands of hair. Sort of sculpt that, and you can blend it into the side of the face of the lion. And then you can draw lines right up onto the side of the face. And that would give it the look of hair growing right out the side of his face. Like that. And here. And here. And again, small pieces randomly placed to just add depth and interest to the hair. And then you can again blend that into the side of the face and draw in or carve in the strands of hair, giving it a nice natural look. Here you could do the same to get the top of the mane where you want it here. Now you can leave it, when you're done, you can leave it rough, you know, with the sculpting marks left in, which I often do. I really like that look a lot. Or you can take a paintbrush, also on the source list, a cup of water, and you can go around and brush the clay to smooth it. And there's a couple of things I would recommend. Is the eyes are probably the most delicate of the detail, so you don't want to get a lot of water around them because it will just create mud and it will mess them up, and then you'll probably have to do them again. So just be careful about that. Maybe don't allow enough water to be on your brush to do that. Just dab it off or dry it off on a paper towel or something like that. And you can go around and smooth it all out if you want. And the other thing you can do is you can go over the you can dab the brush on the table here, a piece of a board or something like that, get most of the water off. And you can go over the hair, the mane, and do the same thing. You don't have to get it all the way smooth, but even if you just go like this, that windblown look will look so much better because it will really look, you know, like it's natural and kind of smooth and rough at the same time. And just remember that if you waited for this to dry about a day, the backside of it is going to be a little bit moist still, and you can pick it up. You can take a wire that's also in the source list, a wire you'll be able to get at the art store, and you can remove it from the board, release it from the board, turn it over, and put a little hole in the back so you can hang it up. And also on this video, there's going to be a link to a playlist for my finishes, my signature finishes, which include bronze and others that you can do with your lion and make it look really cool. I'm just going to pick this up a little bit, but that's basically how he looks. You can just take your time and go around and just make sure that it's got that way you look, the way you want it before you let it dry. It just needs to air dry. Just needs to air dry. No cooking in the oven is necessary. Just go around. You can just add the hair, and then you can brush it with a wet paint, a damp paintbrush, and you can go over it again and again. I'll tell you what, if you worked it and took your time, you could actually get it looking really incredible, because I've done hair that way before. It's amazing. By just brushing like this, and then going over it again to add detail, and then brushing again, it just has an amazing look by doing that. But that is how you make a lion's head. And if you want to make one bigger or smaller, you just repeat basically what I just the way I instructed to you. Again, my name is Jacob Folger. I'm a sculptor. I like to show people how I sculpt and share that with them. It's really not that hard. When people see it, they realize, oh my God, I can be doing this myself. And so please click on the like button, comment if you like. If you have any questions, send me an email, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching.